Good morning, you all. Welcome back to Unplugged TV India. This is Alice Francis. Let's catch some major updates around the world. Work mode on for the new Punjab CM Bhagwant Mann as he will soon launch an anti-corruption helpline. A day after swearing in as a new Chief Minister of Punjab, Bhagwant Mann on Thursday announced that an anti-corruption helpline would be launched on Shaheed Divas on March 23. Mann said that the people of the state will be able to lodge complaints of corruption via WhatsApp. Before the official announcement, Mann said that no one in the history of Punjab has taken such a decision till date. He said it will be his personal WhatsApp number. If anyone asks for a bribe, one can share the video or audio recording and strict action will be taken against the corrupt. Mann said corruption will no longer work in Punjab. Sonia Gandhi reaches out to Ghulam Nabi Azad and many other leaders in the first contact between the Congress leadership and the dissident G23 group after the rout in the recent assembly polls. Party chief Sonia Gandhi is learned to have spoken to senior leader Ghulam Nabi Azad. While sources said a meeting between Sonia and some of the leaders was on the cards, the G23 leaders said the only way forward of the party was to adopt a model of collective and inclusive leadership and decision making at all levels. Some of the G23 leaders met at Azad's residence over dinner on Wednesday. There were three new entrants: veteran leader Mani Shankar Iyer, Lok Sabha MP and former Punjab CM Amarinder Singh's wife Praneet Kaur, and Gujarat leader Shankar Singh Waghela, who quit the Congress in 2017. Waghela joined the NCP in 2019 but left last year. He is reported to be keen to return to the Congress. Former Haryana Chief Minister Bhupinder Singh, on the other hand, met Rahul Gandhi on Thursday, a day after attending a meeting of the Congress G23 of rebel group. During the meeting, the veteran Congress leader explained the situation in Haryana to Gandhi and discussed how the party should be strengthened in the state. Huda is the first leader from the rebel group to meet with one of the three Gandhis after the meeting that focused on the perceived missteps of the Congress's first family and its loyalties. The Haryana veteran had been upset with the party for not giving him or his son Dipinder Huda the post of state chief. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya chaired a review meeting as COVID surged in parts of the world. A high-level meeting was called on Wednesday by Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandaviya to track India's preparedness and level of alertness as several Asian countries report another surge in COVID-19 cases. India has just started reviving itself from the Omicron-led third wave of the pandemic. The centre recently announced plans to resume international flights from March 27 after a gap of almost 2 years. Countries including China, Hong Kong, Singapore and South Korea have recently reported a spike in coronavirus infections, while Delta and Omicron continue to dominate the Asian wave of COVID-19. A new variant, BA2, is setting the stage for a revival of pandemic risks in Europe. According to health officials, the highly transmissible BA2 sublineage of the Omicron variant, also known as the stealth Omicron, is to blame for the sudden increase in coronavirus in the case in the country. As per experts, the fourth wave of the pandemic in India may start around June 22 and peak from mid to late August 2022. However, Indian scientists are saying the stealth Omicron will not cause any major repercussions. Russia's invasion of Ukraine entered its fourth week on Wednesday, with Russian forces largely bogged down outside major cities and shelling them from a distance, raining havoc on civilians. Hundreds of civilians are feared trapped inside a theater which was being smashed by a Russian airstrike in the besieged city of Mariupol. Ukrainian officials said a photo released by Mariupol City Council showed an entire section of the three-story theater where the civilians had taken shelter collapsed after the strike on Wednesday evening. Meanwhile, British military intelligence said on Thursday that Russia's invasion of Ukraine has largely stalled on all fronts, with Russian forces suffering heavy losses. Ukrainian resistance remains staunch and well coordinated, the Ministry of Defense said. The vast majority of Ukrainian territory, including all major cities, remains in Ukrainian hands. On India's end, India's Reliance Industries Limited, operator of the world's biggest refining complex, may avoid buying Russian fuels for its plants, following Western sanctions on Moscow over its invasion of Ukraine. US President Joe Biden has said that America will provide a wide range of weapons and equipment to Ukraine in its fight against Russia. The new $800 million aid package centers on weapons and also includes air defense systems which were urgently needed by Ukraine to defend its cities from the overwhelming barrage of missiles being launched by Russian forces. Vladimir Putin warned he would cleanse Russia of the scum and traitors he accuses of warning covertly for the US and its allies. Facing economic meltdown 3 weeks into his invasion of Ukraine, the Russian leader lashed out at domestic critics. He accused the West of wanting to destroy Russia in a televised video conference with dark undertones. He said any people, and particularly the Russian people, will always be able to tell apart the patriots from the scum and traitors and spit them out like a midge that accidentally flew into their mouth. I am convinced that this natural and necessary self-cleansing of society will only strengthen our country, our solidarity, cohesion and readiness to meet any challenge. Putin's outburst came 2 days after a producer at Russian state-run Channel 1 interrupted the news with a rare public protest against the war in Ukraine. Marina briefly held up a sign behind the news anchor saying, "They're lying to you." Hong Kong to examine COVID measures. Hong Kong's leader Carrie Lam said on Thursday that she would revisit COVID limitations in the upcoming days because she recognizes that residents of the global financial center are becoming increasingly frustrated with policies that have separated the city and harmed business. Many residents in Hong Kong's 7.4 million population have been frustrated by restrictions such as ban on flights from 9 countries including the United Kingdom and United States. Also a 14-day quarantine for people arriving in Hong Kong and a ban on face-to-face classes, closure of gyms and most public venues. During a regular COVID-19 media meeting, Lam said she would deliver an update around March 2021 rather than waiting for the restrictions to expire on April 20. UK military intelligence suggests Russia forces have stalled. According to British military intelligence, Russia's invasion of Ukraine has virtually halted on all fronts, with Russian forces incurring huge losses and making little progress on land, sea or air in recent days. Ukrainian resistance remains staunch and well coordinated, said the Ministry of Defense. A closest supporter of Putin said Russia will put its enemies in their place. One of President Vladimir Putin's closest supporters and former president of Russia, Dmitry Medvedev, claimed on Thursday that Russia has the power to put US-led forces in their places and that Moscow will defeat the West's Russophobia attempt to tear Russia apart. Medvedev, who was president from 2002 to 2012 and is now deputy secretary of Russia's Security Council, said the US has instigated disgusting Russophobia in order to bring Russia to its knees and then tear it apart. He said it will not work. Russia has the might to pull all of our brash enemies in their place. Thank you for watching Unplugged TV India. If you like the video, please hit like, subscribe and share, and also do comment below. This is Alice Francis signing off.